Democratic candidate for Lieutenant Governor. Susan, how are you?
I am good.
That was a great event, great discussion. What did you take from that, and what message do you have for your constituents in New Haven?
Well, first of all, it's such a pleasure to be in New Haven. It's such a beautiful and diverse city, and it was nice to be with a mix of business people, alders, community leaders, nonprofit leaders, and it was interesting to hear, particularly from the new businesses, what they're looking for in New Haven and in the state of Connecticut. And it was interesting to meet a business that's looking for some more clarity on blockchain business. I think that could be something with huge potential for our state. So I'm definitely going to learn more about the Wyoming law that they were talking about. And we also heard about the importance of investing in education, making college more affordable, and investing in higher education, particularly state colleges and universities. And Ned Lamont and I are really committed to doing that.
Now, kind of unrelated, but I have to ask.
Yes.
Brett Kavanaugh was confirmed to the Supreme Court amid probably the biggest controversy the Senate's seen in seemingly 1,000 years. And it seemed that women's voices, victims' voices, all of it, the Me Too movement, it all seemed to mean nothing to the people that are running the Senate Judiciary Committee, and perhaps the President of the United States himself. And here we are with a confirmed judge who has, let's just say, baggage. What's your response to that? What does it mean for women in America? And what would you say to those that are starting to lose hope?
It's, and actually this is a discussion that I've had with my daughters, who I think took for granted that since we had a pro-choice Supreme Court and Roe versus Wade was the law of the land, that it would be around forever. And unfortunately, the president has made good on his promise to appoint a justice to the Supreme Court who can be counted on to help overturn Roe versus Wade. And what I would say to the voters of Connecticut is this: it's very important that you look at the positions and the values that candidates for the state legislature and for statewide office have, because they will have a very direct impact on who will be appointed to our state courts and on whether Connecticut will keep its pro-choice law. And if you are frustrated with, like I am, with what has happened at the federal level, then I would urge you to work hard for pro-choice candidates for the state legislature and for Ned Lamont and I, and for those running for the statewide constitutional offices. Ned Lamont and I have been very clear. We did not support the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh, and that we do support Connecticut's pro-choice law. And we will ask the judges, or the people who would like to be judges in the state of Connecticut, whether they support Connecticut's pro-choice law. That is an appropriate question to ask of judges who would like to be appointed to our courts. And Ned and I will also fight hard to prevent attacks on that law. And we look at the other team, Mr. Markley and Mr. Stefanowski, have been on the other side of this issue. They have said positive things about Brett Kavanaugh. They have graded Donald Trump's administration with an A, and they have not stood up and spoken out, as Ned and I have, about the disrespect that the president has shown to Dr. Blasey Ford. We are appalled, Ned and I, because we believe her. We believe the victims who come forward with such courage and conviction and patriotism. And we do not think that Judge Kavanaugh has the appropriate demeanor or the record to be nominated. That said, Ned and I will be fighting hard to earn the trust and the respect of the voters of our state. And we urge anyone who is upset by the last week's event to get out and support candidates that they believe in, because that is the firewall against the very wrong-headed policies coming out of the Supreme Court, the White House, and our Congress.
We want to thank you for joining Tastie Fish, and we wish you the best on the campaign trail. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.